Hey everybody, this is Joseph Hasek, and welcome to the Fired Up Network. Welcome to the On the Mat Wrestling Show, and welcome to the Hall of Fame referee Jimmy Korderas here as we preview WWE Clash in Paris. Jimmy, have you ever been to Paris while doing your tour in the WWE?
Yes, I have been to Paris. I love Paris. I want to go back. I want to go back on a vacation and actually get to see the place as opposed to getting to see the airport, the hotel, and the arena.
Do you know any French?
Very little. My wife is from Quebec
Oh
originally,
yeah.
so she speaks fluent French. She's my translator.
Yeah, well, there's always great to have a wife who protects you, talks French, Spanish, whatever, right? And you
Oh,
just
yeah.
sign autographs. So
Well,
that's it.
yeah, and even she helps me with that too. Reminds me how to spell my name.
All right. So don't forget, it's this Sunday, 2 p.m. 2 p.m. Eastern, WWE Clash in Paris. Let's get to the card, preview it. And this should be, like you say, a slobber knocker, a banger, whatever you want to say.
Hmm.
Sheamus, Rusev, a Donnybrook. They're calling. I don't know what a Donnybrook is opposed to like a banger or whatever. But anyways, it's a Donnybrook.
Yeah, a Donnybrook. I guess it's just another name for a no disqualification, anything goes kind
Yeah.
of match. And these guys, this is going to be hard hitting. Someone like a Sheamus tends to have marks left on him as soon as he works with someone really, really snug. I'm sure he's going to have a
Exactly.
few on him. They show up really bright on your television screens, but this is the real deal. I mean, Sheamus. Uh, I love Sheamus. I love the way he works. He works hard. Rusev needs a little something more, and that's why I expect Rusev to win this one because you talk about do people need it? Can you get over without getting over? Yes, but in this case, I think Rusev needs a big win here and against Sheamus, and then he could move on to something else. Whatever that is, I don't know, but he could move on to something else.
You know what? I go the other way. I think Sheamus needs to win because Rusev been beating him, beating him. I know Rusev. I mean, Sheamus won and all that, but it's in Paris. It's not in North America, let's say, and I think Sheamus needs to win. And I think actually he's going to get the win. This
Oh,
is the first time we're in disagreement. Maybe
it's
call
okay
my
to disagree.
shillelagh here. I got to bring my.
Hey, Joe, it's okay to be wrong.
Yeah, listen, that's Donnie's job. All right. So Becky Lynch versus Nikki Bella for the Intercontinental title. And Becky's been getting a little bit of heat from Osborne there with what she said and all that. And
Hmm.
WWE's thinking about apologizing and all that. Could this mean Nikki wins the Intercontinental title?
I don't see that happening just yet. I mean, Becky Lynch made that comment, but she actually put over Aussie. She was putting down
Yeah.
Birmingham. It wasn't Aussie that she was putting down. So people misunderstood how she said it. That's the thing, and I get Aussie's daughter getting upset about it. Again, it wasn't her putting down Aussie. She said the best thing to come out of Birmingham was Aussie. So it
Yeah.
was putting him over with and also at the same time putting the city down like a heel does. That
Yeah.
being
Yeah.
said, I think as far as the women's side, Becky on the mic has been fantastic. She has helped
Yes.
build this up, and surprisingly, Nikki Bella has been smooth on the mic as well. For as much time as she's taken off, she feels comfortable, speaking into the mic, and you can see that. And I like this matchup. I think it's going to surprise a lot of people because we haven't seen much from Nikki Bella in ring wise since she's returned. And a lot of people will think, oh, can she hang with the man? Can she hang with Becky Lynch? I think she's going to surprise some people. And yes, that said, I don't see the title changing hands here.
Well, this is interesting to me. Whoever wins, because the general manager of Raw, Pierce, said he's going to come up with something creative to see what happens with the WWE title that Naomi had to vacate. So
Mm-hmm.
it could be because these two are big name ladies, right? So
Right.
one of them keeps the Intercontinental title, and one of them probably is in the main event or captures the WWE
Oh,
Ladies title. That's
maybe.
something to think about.
And we
You
also have
know,
to think about the wild card here. Bailey,
yeah,
who's conflicted. We've seen
Bailey.
those videos. She's, whether it's self-doubt, whatever you want to call it, but those videos are very telling as to big plans for her, I believe, coming up soon.
Exactly. I think she can. She's one of them people who probably will be in that main event for the WWE Ladies Title. But
Mm.
let's get to the next match: Bronson Reed, or should I say Nike Reed, versus Roman Reigns.
Yes, Mr. Shulafala. I love that name, actually. Whoever came up, I
Yeah,
think it was Paul Heyman, but
Paul Heyman.
brilliant.
Yeah,
I think it was brilliant. This is going to be an interesting one because Roman Reigns, obviously, he's the made man. You talk about people who are legit superstars in this industry. Roman Reigns is a legit superstar. That's why Bronson Reed will get elevated in this match. He needs to be elevated in this match and look like more than just one of Seth Rollins slash Paul Heyman's bodyguards. He needs to break out here. And I think this is a great opportunity to have him elevated, kind of like, um, a lot of people are looking at Braun Breaker in this group as the breakout guy. Bronson Reed has
yeah.
that ability as well. He just needs to get more comfortable when he speaks on the mic. We got a little bit of that this past week to help build to this, but like I said, this is an opportunity for him to break out. I think there's going to be some shenanigans here, of course, in some form or fashion. But that being said, uh, again, I think this is going to be another sleeper match. This one's going to interest me a lot.
And
Who?
Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed, do they really need to talk? They're machines. You just put Paul Heyman there, and that's it. You don't even need them to talk. That's my opinion. When you get Paul Heyman, arguably probably the best talker, forget wrestling wise, anything,
Mhm.
right? So they don't really need to talk. But I like that tag team, Braun and Braun, B and B. So that's
Yeah,
something. And Braun's already won the Intercontinental title and the tsunami there and everything like that. So it's interesting, but I don't think Roman's going to lose, right? So
I
that's
I know.
that's the other.
Yeah, it's a tough one. I'd love to see Bronson Reed, regardless of how it's done, whether there's
Yeah,
shenanigans involved, come out on top because that would do wonders for him going forward.
yeah,
And
I
right now,
agree.
Roman Reigns is bulletproof. You can't hurt him.
Well, speak about somebody who's bulletproof. John Cena. I don't know if you could see him in Paris versus Logan Paul. This is another, like you said, sleeper match because I know Logan Paul's up against John Cena. I know Logan Paul's probably going to go through a table, make him look amazing. This is his chance to be a superstar. I'm not saying there's. I don't believe he's going to beat John Cena, but he could be a superstar in this match.
You're absolutely right. I don't see him beating John Cena, but at the same time, this is a perfect opportunity for Logan Paul to learn even more. I mean, like for a guy who's only had like what 23 matches,
Yeah,
he has no business being as good and as smart in the ring as he is. Yes, he can do some fantastic things, but that's not the stuff I'm talking about. I'm talking about being able to tell stories, psychology in the ring. He gets it and he understands it. And with someone like a John Cena who absolutely gets it and understands it, I think this one here, from a pacing, psychology, and just storytelling aspect of a match, is going to be off the charts. And here's where Logan Paul is going to actually learn some more from someone like a John Cena to be that guy that can follow instructions. John Cena is going to be the general in this match. He's going to lead it. And Logan Paul, contrary to popular opinion, doesn't have the ego in him where he's not going to listen. He's going to listen. He's going to pay attention. He's going to learn. And you people out there who dog on him for being a part-timer, you can do that all you want. But at the same time, this guy delivers every time he enters the ring. This is going to be, I talk about sleeper. This one's not even going to be a sleeper. This one's going to be off the chain.
and I can't wait. And hopefully Triple H is watching here because he always watches Jimmy. All right,
Mhm.
so I can't wait for Logan Paul and Dom to have a match, a feud, or whatever. These guys basically the same age. I know Dom is Rey Mysterio's son and all that, but imagine the fights these guys are gonna have. That's the future of the WWE. Put it that way. I Logan Paul and Dom. Wow, that for me that's gonna be something.
I didn't even think of that one. That would be interesting. I'm just curious to see between two guys who mega heat, who's going to be the one. It's got to be Dom. Dom
What's
will
Logan
probably,
Paul?
Yeah,
It's
no, Logan
because
Paul's going to be
by
the
that
heel,
time
and
Dominic's going to turn face. So
yeah, exactly. You have an easier time turning him face than Logan Paul, especially in front of the fans.
that's it. And interesting, Cody Rhodes not defending the title, Drew McIntyre not there. Probably there'll be some part of vignette on the show, but in the main event, you got Seth Rollins the champion, CM Punk, Uso, and LA Knight. Yeah, all right. Yeah, I'm gonna tell you he's not gonna win. That's
Yeah.
number one. Jay
So,
Uso,
so
I'm gonna
what you're
tell you
saying
he's
is,
probably
hold
not
on.
gonna.
So you're telling me L.A. Knight, no?
Yes. No. No. No way. No way. But this again showcases arguably these are the four of the top 5 or 10 guys in WWE right now. Seth Rollins, every match he's superb. CM Punk, since he's come back, he won the title for 5 minutes. But it's and also I don't have to tell you the start in this match. And like I told you, he's not going to win, but I think it should show LA Knight because Rollins is already on top of the ladder, CM Punk on top of the ladder, and Uso getting there very close. So they have to show LA Knight is here to stay. Nobody's picking him to win, probably, but they have to show that LA Knight can eventually win the big one.
Maybe, but I want to see something different from LA Knight here. Um, Obviously, there's three baby faces technically versus one heel in Seth Rollins, but they've shown dissension
Yeah,
between all three, between CM Punk, Jey Uso, and LA Knight. What I'd like to see coming out of this, I don't see Seth Rollins losing the championship. I see him retaining in some form or fashion. That being said, the one thing I want to see out of this is another feud, another angle between the three other guys, whether it's CM Punk and LA Knight or Jey Uso and LA Knight. Because LA Knight, the way he presents himself, even though the fans cheer him, everything about him speaks heel.
yeah.
His promo deliveries, his promo style, how he conducts himself, that screams heel to me. And this is a perfect opportunity, in my opinion, for him to go full born heel and just lose it and just after the match, Seth Rollins leaves with the championship and he just goes ballistic on the other two guys.
Yeah, that I could see
Like
that happening.
especially someone like a Jey Uso. I know CM Punk, of course, but even Jey Uso, who's loved, if he goes off on them both, wow. I could see a nice little heel turn for LA Knight. I think it's needed for him because I think the positive responses he's been getting have been dwindling a little bit. It's not as loud. People they chant along to the LA Knight
Yeah.
stuff and his music when he hits, but after that, uh, the crowd noise has been dwindling. So he needs something drastic, and turning heel I think would be a right move for him.
All right. Again, the Clash in Paris happens Sunday, 2 p.m. And don't forget the next Premier Live event is going against AEW. And by the way, the AEW All In is happening in Toronto,
Mm-hmm.
Scotiabank Arena. And they announced it on Wednesday that Edge and or Adam Copeland and Christian up against FTR, maybe main eventing. It should be interesting because we heard rumors that it may be for tag team titles. So we'll see if FTR goes after the tag team titles just before the pay per view. But if I'm going to ask you, you're
Mm-hmm.
Torontonian, I'm
Yes.
Torontonian, we're Canadian. Are we going to watch in Scotiabank Arena, or at the same time, are we going to go to WrestlePalooza?
Well, that's the beauty of it now because we have the technology to have like two screens going at the same time. It's hard, to keep your eyes on one and the other. But I know people do that with NFL.
Yeah,
When you're people who are big NFL fans, they've got like multi screens because they want to watch their favorite team and the other guys that they have in their fantasy football pools, to keep up with the tabs like that. So the technology's there. Technically, I like to watch everything live,
but you're
which
going to be probably in Toronto, right? You're going to go to the event.
I don't know. I might be banned from the building. I don't know.
That Max Domi and Ty Domi, eh?
The-
But it should be the next Premier Live event from both should be great there. So,
Mhm.
you take a couple weeks off. Every week. It seems like we're calling you and Donnie and all that to do this. And thank God we had like 5 hours only of AEW last week, right? But I don't know what the deal is. I'm gonna say we're gonna close it up right here. You watched that pay-per-view, okay?
Mhm.
And you saw John Moxley rip off the ear of Darby Allin. He was bleeding. Now, is that necessary?
For me, no. That stuff doesn't appeal to me. I
Yeah,
get the hardcore aspect. I get having blood in a match. I get that sort of stuff. But putting a fork in someone's ear and stuff like that, when they use like syringes in the mouth and stuff, that I get it. There's an audience out there that goes, "Oh, that stuff is cool." Not to me.
yeah.
It's not
Not
what I,
witness.
you know, it's not what entertains me. You know what I'm
Exactly.
saying? Like I,
Exactly.
I grew up in the era, and then I worked through the era of the chair shots. Thank God they're gone. The ones to
Yeah.
the head, at least, anyways. That they've taken those out of the equation. But you can do so much in an environment like that inside a cage structure. The idea of the cage structure is the cage is what you should be the weapon of choice.
Yeah.
I mean, you
Yep.
can kind of introduce other stuff like a table here, a chair here, but when you start going down that road, and I don't know, it just doesn't appeal to me.
And the cage will look cool also. I gotta admit that the cage looked
Yeah.
cool also all around and everything. But Jimmy, tell everybody where they could hear and watch Huge Pop. And they got a good friend of mine on, another referee. All right,
Yes.
another referee.
Yes. Actually, this week we spoke with TNA lead official Daniel Spencer, who is a good friend of mine now. Got to know him, especially, got to see him live and in living color when TNA was here in Brampton. Got to visit with him for a little bit, and that was fun. But yeah, we had a great chat with him. Daniel is a smart dude, especially when it comes to the business side of the business. He knows what he's talking about. And Donnie and I had a great chat with him on Huge Pop. You can find that on the Fired Up Network and anywhere else or at hugepopradio.com. You can find it there. All our past episodes are there. The past episodes are here on the Fired Up Network. And if you want to catch me and come at me on Twitter, you can find me on Twitter at Jimmy Korderas and on Instagram at Real Jimmy Korderas. Doing my ref and rants, just trying to tighten screws that I believe need tightening. That's all.
That's it. That's it. And soon to be in the Hall of Fame. And Jimmy, I just thought about it. You talked about it. This is the last week before NFL football.
Mm-hmm.
Before NFL football, I know we're talking wrestling, but I know you're sitting back and watching the Buffalo Bills destroy your team, Tennessee, and destroy
Oh.
Miami and destroy Pittsburgh, and hopefully Aaron Rodgers doesn't break his Achilles a second into the season and everything like that. But I'm
Mm-hmm.
going to ask you. I know this is wrestling, but I'm going to put you on the spot.
Oh.
Okay, I'm not asking you who's going to go to the Super Bowl because it's going to be Buffalo, and it's the Super Bowl is going to be played on my birthday, February 8th. So you know what that
Oh.
means, right? You're invited
Oh.
to my house. I'm going to have a 100-inch TV and everything like that.
Oh.
But what's the record going to be for your Tennessee Titans?
Oh my goodness, that's a tough one. They're still rebuilding. I mean, yes, they got Cam Ward at quarterback, but they gotta work on him. He's still young, and I don't even know if he's going to be starting this year.
Well,
That's
they're
the thing.
saying he's starting.
They're saying so, but
Yeah.
they're throwing him to the wolves, and we shall see. If they do 500 this year, I'll be happy because that's a big step forward.
And are my Buffalo Bills going to win the Super Bowl? Better say yes.
Um, I'm only saying yes because I don't want to see the Kansas City Chiefs again.
All right.
Please no.
But I got to ask you here the main part, everybody's talking about it worldwide here. Travis Kelsey proposing to Taylor Swift.
Mm-hmm.
And I spoke to my girlfriend, and she says this is the ugliest ring ever for $555,000. Now, I don't know if you showed your wife the ring and all that, but what did you think of the ring for
Oh,
555,000? It looks like I could get a bubblegum ring better.
I could have gone to Oliver's Jewelers and got a better one, I think. Anyways, hold on a sec. I'm going to yell out. Don't mind my yelling. Audra, did you see the ring that Taylor Swift got as an engagement? Did you see it? Yeah. What did you think of it? I don't know. He's got his name on there. Well, her and his initials. Oh, the initials. Yes. And
Yeah.
She wasn't a fan.
And tell her how much it was.
Five
It
hundred
was
and fifty thousand
$555.
dollars. It's like 5 carats or something. Yeah, but yeah.
All right. So you wouldn't want a ring like that, right? You just want a Super Bowl ring, right? So that's it.
Right, right.
That's it.
He
And
should
a
have. He should have just.
WWE
There
Hall of
you go.
Fame.
He could have sized it and given him one of his Super Bowl rings. There
Well,
you
he
go.
wants to have it for this year, right? A rumor has it. Again, we do everything in sports. Rumor has it that this year it doesn't matter if they make the Super Bowl, lose the Super Bowl. He's going to retire at the end of this year.
Yeah. Well, look at it this way. For what he spent on that ring here in Toronto, with the exchange rate, you could probably get yourself a decent condo.
Yeah. And, maybe we should talk to him. All right. That's Jimmy Korderas. And again, WWE Clash in Paris happens this Sunday, 2 p.m. Thanks a lot, Jimmy.
My pleasure, buddy.